What up guys, DeeBee back here, and we are back for episode number 3 of our SuperCharged mod pack. I'm here on the server, no one else is on right now, but Rapid left me a present. Isn't that nice? He's absolutely caked up our house. He actually found out that Cake has an EMC, so of course what does he do? It's just cake the whole house, which I didn't mind, because it's free food. Who's going to knock back that? Until he started covering the crafting tables. Cheeky bugger. But anyway, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be finishing off the power that I was working on last time. Let me just morph into something that is flyable, just because I can get around the face so much easier. Things have changed a little bit. You may notice, you may not notice. I brought all the storage from outside inside, and what I've done is just made a ton of our chemical chests. Best bit is they have an EMC, so I only had to make one, and just made a ton of them. Now I've got, you may see in the back there, I've got mod sorting pipes. This is just the main dump chest, so say if I put my armor down into this here, it disappears and it will go to the chest where that designated mod has items. So here you'll see this is where all the vanilla items go. It usually decides that judged by what items are in there, and then just keeps adding, like it just notices like, oh, there's applied Energistics thing in here, so only AE goes into here. But if you have empty chests, it'll just put wherever the hell it wants to. You've got to sort of designate your chests first, or slowly expand. You can't just add 12 chests like this. So that's what I learned. So I cut that bit off, filled these up first, then filled these up, and everything was peachy. And here is just my miscellaneous one, where microblocks and Chisel and EE and just random stuff goes. As soon as I put a railcraft ingot in there, everything from railcraft goes in there, which is fine. Anyway, and I think here, yeah, you'll see that's where all my armor went, so I'll quickly grab those back because I need them. What do I need? Boots, boots, boots. Are they better? Boots, tier 1, tier 2, whatever. I have the most mismatched armor, it's ridiculous. But as you can see down the bottom, it still gives me full armor, so hey, why the hell not use it? Other than that, we've got the EE room, and it's all marbled up. Over here, we're still making our Automagy fuel, and it's just pumping away. I'm gonna find a better way to generate EMC for that. I was playing around with the pink generator, just for the fun of it, just because the dyes have an EMC. Pretty pitiful. I wouldn't worry about one of those, just because they only generate one RF a tick. It's crazy slow. But yes, so today we are going to need to make our boiler, and I'm going to use the Automagy fuel for that, just because it seems like a really efficient source, and it is expensive as far as EMC goes, but hey, I can just sit and wait for a while, and hopefully it lasts long as well. So what we need to do is get these firebox, yeah. I'll show you the recipe for them. They're actually just a ton of clay and some fire charge. All that is so simple to make. The liquid one actually uses steel, and that's what you've got to worry about, is trying to figure out a way to get steel. The high pressure boiler tanks, I covered this in the last episode. We're just using the quantum flux steel recipe, which makes things so much easier. But what we need to do is we need to make a multi-block of 3 by 3 by 4. And as you can see, it's decided that that size is enough, but we are going even bigger because we still have a ton more to go. And then you can see it just broke apart again. I haven't done railcraft in quite some time, so it will be interesting just to see how it stacks up against a lot of the newer mods. And there we go, there's our boiler. We're full of water, simply because I've got a interaction upgrade with a liquid thing there, and that should keep it plentiful. Now for the, whoa, look out. Now for the moment, I'm just going to chuck some of this fuel in here, we've got quite a fair bit, and Rapid has even more. Don't worry, it's not a competition because he has more time. But let's just chuck some in. I think about that, and let's just see how quickly or not this thing speeds up. While that's going, burning away, we might put down our energy cells that I plan to use. And these are in the base tier. Oh man. But as you can see, it increases with each block that we put down. So we're up to 9 million RF, 12 million, and the last 4. Oh god, where am I going to put these? Well, let's just 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So we'll be able to store 22 million, and the input-output is 22,000 RF a tick. We're not going to be anywhere near that just yet, but don't you worry. Alright, so we'll chuck some steam dynamos down. Now, steam dynamos are interesting because you can just put the old water in here, charcoal, coal, burnable item. We could even use the Etanellus fuel in here, and it would produce, and it would generate steam, and that generates power. But you can feed steam directly into these guys, which is what I'm interested in. So we won't worry about output for the moment. Let's actually put some augments in these guys already, just because I know we're going to make a ton of power. These will upgrade, let's see. So this is the standard one, no augments in it. Maximum power is 80 RF a tick, that's fine. As soon as you put a tier 1 augment in for the secondary transmission coil, which is a double power basically, but it doubles the energy consumed as well. So we get 160 RF a tick, and then at the end I've put both tiers in, which gets us 320. 320 is going to be a magic number. So all up we're doing 540. Correct me if I'm wrong, something like that. I'm terrible at maths when it comes to that. I can double everything fine, I just can't do halves. It's probably 640 plus 320, so that's what, 960. There we go. And forgive me if I'm still wrong. But anyway, so what I might do is just chuck one of these guys down, and this we'll use a speed upgrade just so you can access these inventories much quicker. This thing's still firing away. It's consumed 1, so that's not. Oh, actually no, maybe it hasn't. It's still plugging away, still at 40 though, man. These things take forever to heat up. Well, I was doing a test where it was just 1 boiler, and within 5 minutes we'd hit max. So that's where the efficiency is there. Like, the more volume you have, like each one of those tanks produces 20 millibuckets of steam per tick, which is mental when you think about how many are in there. There's at least 36. But it just gets so much more efficient on the fuel the higher the energy. So let's get some transfer pipe going and hook this bad boy up. Now I'm pretty sure I can just put it there and there. It will try to transfer energy, but I'm just going to ignore that because even the multi-block here has ignored that pipe. So that's going to be it so far. Once this thing hits 100 degrees, it'll start making steam. It'll start chucking into this. And these guys, ooh, actually, we might take these augments out until we hit max efficiency. Just because these guys won't produce power. Look at it, is it really? Oh, that must have been one that Rapid left behind. It'll only produce power when it gets above that red line, which is the halfway mark, as you can tell. So we need to keep the steam above the halfway mark. And this guy should be... Why are you not pulling that power in? Why you no? Why you no power? Huh. Well, there you go. Everything's unignored. Not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe it needs half the steam to output the energy, something like that. But this seems to be a quite an efficient way. We'll just probably add maybe up to 9 max. Each one of these I can get up to 640 RF a tick once this thing starts pumping out all the steam. Man, this thing is going to take a while. But anyway, I had an idea for what we'd do in the meantime, and we'll just chuck some of this away. Keep these on me. And the plan, Stan, was I needed a book and an emerald. So I need 1 emerald, and where is a book? There we go. I need to find out what I can do with my suits. Now, as you can see up the top, don't know if I can show you. No, I can't. Up here, I've got points, which is 313 points, and that's just random points from killing enemies. But in the HeroSuits catalog, it actually gives you a full guide on everything, which is fantastic. You know, full guide on the blind bags and boxes, which is basically just reward bags, but with pieces of armor or hero suits inside them. A bit of potion effects that you get from certain suits, and then you just get the massive catalog that is every single suit that you can don and all that sort of thing. So my favorite was always Deadpool and that sort of thing, but if you want something like super fancy, I believe like you can get Superman, and over here it'll tell you what each one is and the cost per item, so 500, so you need 2,000 points to get the full suit. And it gives you a bit of a breakdown on what you can do, so you can like shoot fire or freeze rays and all that sort of thing. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. Like, I could probably just get started with Harley Quinn, just because she's one of the top of the tier 1s. So you can see here the buffs that you get from getting the whole suit. And each one of those is only 100, so theoretically I could just grab those 3, knowing that I have 2 sets of boots in there already, and just get on with it and just be her. But I want to show you something really cool. You get a heap of blind bags and you don't like what you've got, so we've got so much crap that we're never going to use. Like, fair enough, I'll keep the Joker, but we don't need Nightcrawler's sword or the Psy or Leonardo's mask. Michelangelo was my favourite, to be honest. What you can do is a point converter for 250 points, and I'm going to grab that here, and what you can do is we'll pop it down. You can drop any armor onto this and it will convert the tier into a point value. So we'll just keep about that. Tier 1s like this will give you 10 points, so we are at 63 now, and we're at 83. I think I dropped to tier 2, yeah. Tier 1 and tier 2, and we're up to 113. So all that's doing is just dropping the item onto that, and it disappears and goes into your balance. Now these things are bound to the person. So if AJ was to come down and throw some armor onto here, he wouldn't get those points. I would, because I bought it with my catalog. So just be wary of that if you go to try and use other people's converters. So now we're up to 193 already, which is pretty mad. Like, we haven't even got rid of most of the stuff we want. And from there, it's pretty straightforward. You just go back to your catalog, buy the suit you want, or, you know, put it into a point card so that you can use it later on. Like, these points don't disappear when you die either, which is quite good. But yeah, so over time I'll figure out what one I want to use, and actually I probably could trade these in. So that's what, 60, 80 points, no, 100 points there. Ooh, so it'd get me about 330. I don't think I could get anything good for that. Like, what's Deadpool worth? Deadpool's good, but he doesn't fly. But at only 200 points, oh, 400 points for item, yeah, so that's his katana. That's 200. So he's a tier 4, so he gets some pretty good buffs like regen 5 and all that sort of thing. I think the one that I was doing in the test world, I think it was Captain Marvel? Yes. So strength 10, regen 4, I got flight, health boost 5, which actually gives you extra hearts. So I was getting like an extra 10 hearts, which was mental. But that felt a bit too OP for me and kind of ruined it because it was super fast flight and it kind of ruined the game. Like, I like my creative flight in Morph. It is slow, but it's fine. I'm not too fussed with it. But yeah, I wanted a challenge, so I decided to go lower tiers. Oh man, we're almost there. Almost. Well, what I might do is I'll do a bit of a cutaroo, and we'll come back when this thing's making a decent amount of steam, just to show you how much energy we're going through there. Alright, I'll see you soon, guys. What up, guys? We're back, and this thing has hit the 200 mark, and it's only burnt through, what, 1 to 2 fuel already. That's almost nothing. There's a bit of steam building up in the middle here. I'm only assuming because this thing isn't extracting enough. So there we go. I think it maxes out, yeah. It's enough to get 3 of these going at the bottom tier. But what I want is a ton more steam. So we're getting a steady 240 in, which isn't too bad. But what I'm thinking is just adding a second guy on. And what I might do is split the speed upgrades over the 2 of them. And this should pull out whatever is left. Ooh, it may be generating... Oh, it's going up, going down, going up, going down. Who knows? And that should be definitely... Oh man, it is still burning through. Oh man, it is still struggling on the 80. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I might need to figure out a better solution. Let me know if there's any pro tips on transfer pipes or any of the other flux ducts or anything like that. That's a little bit mid-game. I think there's some ender ones that are a fair bit expensive at the moment. But once we get our resources going, I think the plan is so far, I'll have to confirm with AJ what we're doing, but I've emptied out this area. I'm thinking this is going to be our machine room. Just because of its proximity to that capacitor bank there, so it should be like just on the outside of that wall, so we can run a cable up and around and maybe even through there, and we should hit that room. But this is going to take days, and when I say days, I mean literal real life IRL days to get all the way up to 1,000 degrees. And I'm gonna let you know how much fuel I burn through. I'm only going to assume we're barely going to get through this stack. Like, this is some really good stuff. Oh man, this thing is still building up. So this thing's still not extracting as quick as I can. Holy. So yeah, these pipes are failing us. So I need something better right away. Let me know. But for the moment, I think that's where we'll leave the episode. Don't forget about your point converters and all that. So that's what you can use to get your good suits. And hopefully, I'll be able to have my good suit, and then AJ will have his, and we'll be going on mad adventures, fighting off monsters, fighting off bosses, and all sorts of fun stuff. Alright guys, well I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think, and comment below if you have any tips, like I was saying before, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.